I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening, and welcome to you all. And it's great to see so many people here. This is a fairly last minute stream. I managed to jam this one in this week. My shifts aren't that great. Let's have a few quick hellos. Pixel Domination, who is around and about all over the internet, is in here. Welcome, Pixel. Just jumping through. Let's go back. Chris Durham Music Channel. When I put this up, I was going to go live a little early, 8:45, and he said, "You're going live exactly when my premiere is." So I bumped it back for 15 minutes just for you, Chris. And who else? Yeah, Pixel, Demon Orb, good evening. Turtle Moose, Paul Kellett, hello to you. Second best, Bob. You set your reminder. I hope it rang. Mohammed Shafiq, good evening to you. Mr. Jones, 72. NDH, skipping forward. Spheroidal Master. That's easy for me to say. Mr. Jones, 72 again. Joe Whip, hello. Mitch Goldstein, who is here in the chat. I'm going to get the people in from chat fairly early tonight. I've only got a couple of bits to talk about before that, and I see it's just appeared on my screen. I see just got a new subscriber, Stephen Taylor Trailer. Beg your pardon, couldn't read that. It's green on a green background, and I'm colourblind to green, so that doesn't help. But welcome and thank you. Who else we got? Joe Whip, I said. Turtle Moose, Brian Pop Robson, hello to you. Cool Big Pig Slapper Oink. Mr. Ez, he's a whiz with technology. Oh yeah, tarnation, but he's not so good at wordification apparently. That's what he said. Andrea Clark, Cygnus TSP, hello to you. Nearly up to date. JD, John Rapp, Now Pinion. Hello Now, I hope Little Miss Now's okay. Q, good evening Q. Hope you're doing well. We must catch up sometime soon. David Oliver, Tony Regime, and I have a name now. Well done. I am D Fox. I've got up to date. Inner Space 100. Good evening to you. Hope I didn't miss anyone. If I did, my deepest apologies. Not got much in the way of news before we start. There's a couple of things though I do want to cover. One is a personal thing. As many of you know, and I've had massive support. My mum died recently, and it was her funeral about 3 days ago. My daughter had been at university, and so she came back, obviously, and seeing as everything was taking a few days, she used to have a part-time job locally, so she started doing part-time job again just to fill some time and earn some pennies. 2 days before the funeral, she had a call from her boss saying, "You need to get a COVID test." Okay, because another lady at the work has just had a positive COVID test. Well, when I say just, she'd felt ill and had a COVID test, but it was being done by post. So for 4 days, she continued to go to work with symptoms, awaiting results of her COVID test. To say I was not pleased is not even half a story. I was absolutely fuming at her stupidity. This wasn't a young girl, perhaps who should know better but didn't. This was a lady in her 30s. So she put other people at risk when she had symptoms and was awaiting a result. Thankfully, my daughter tested negative, but there were all sorts of fears about would she be able to go to the funeral? Would we have to self-isolate? Would we be able to go to the funeral? In fact, I found out that I was greatly surprised. You can actually, in the UK, you can break self-isolation to go to a funeral. You can break isolation with a positive test to go to a funeral as long as you're not showing symptoms. It's about the only time you can go out. It's understandable because obviously a funeral is a pretty important thing. You're going to keep yourself at as distance as possible. So it would have still been possible, but we were terrified that we wouldn't be able to go to my own mum's funeral. So thankfully it all worked out. The funerals are never pleasant, but it went well. So right. Oh, I see I've just got a super chat from J Space D without a comma in the middle. Thank you, J Space D, for £9.99, saying absolutely nothing. I've got to agree with you there, JD. Absolutely. Oh, and another one's just popped in from Unflat Earth for 10 New Zealand dollars. Early donation for Mage 3. You're trying to tempt me. The man's trying to tempt me. Do you come from a land down under? Or was that another place down under? Thank you very much, Unflat. I appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to cover is, as someone had mentioned, Big Pig Slapper Oink. I hope you all saw my video. That was great fun doing it. Big thanks and a shout out to FTFE for being such a good sport. He knew exactly what he was going to be doing. And yes, someone asked me, his script was say hello, laugh a lot, and then say, yeah, no problem, happy to help any time. It worked really well. Now, Big Pig Slapper Oink knows absolutely nothing. I'd been trying to arrange a debate with him, but every time I spoke to him, so I'll read that in a minute now. Every time I spoke to him, he kept making new and different demands until I got fed up with it. I said, look, here's my email, call me. And he didn't. And then Craig had let me know that he was going to stream. I went on. It was very good, as in it was a laugh. It wasn't a good debate. And Craig's done another one to him since. Now, one thing Big Pig Slapper Oink has done is he has slung comments around all over the place. He churns out lots of videos, sort of 2 or 3 a day. I'm opening up another window here. 2 or 3 videos a day with all sorts of derp. And when you reply to one of his comments, you end up with comment threads going across multiple videos, which gets very complicated. And he kept talking about me manipulating data or Mage being faked, and he debunked it. Sorry, I'm just struggling to type his name. Big Pig Slapper Space Oink. Yeah, so he'd been putting comments all over the place saying that I was manipulating things, and I said no, it's true. Try and debunk it or whatever. And he did put out a debunk video, and my response was the one with Fight the Flat Earth. All over the place, he has been calling me a liar, and if you've seen any of the debates with him in, you'll see he mentions God a lot, and he keeps going on about the truth. So I'm just pausing this video because it's not the video I want to see. Yeah, he keeps going on saying all these things about God, truth, and we're lying and twisting and so on. And what I want to show you is a little bit, very short little bit of a conversation. Let me just see if I can get this window to load up properly. Oh, it looks like I've got the right one. Yay, technology. It works sometimes. A little bit of a conversation that was in one of his comments. Let me just transition that across. See if that's worked. Right. So there's a thread talking about consonants. This was in his you can't see it, jigsaw puzzle video, which is all about, there's no image of it there. Yeah, it's all about how the consonants fit together, and I was basically saying it's plate tectonics, and of course he claimed it's God. Okay, I'm not going to argue the toss over that right now. And he said, did anyone witness what you say, or is it just a theory? And another YouTuber, Penguin875, said, learn what a theory is. Good call, Penguin, because you can bet your bottom dollar that Big Pig Slapper Oink hasn't got the faintest idea what a theory is. So he used a dictionary. He used Merriam-Webster and came up with this. These are highlighted. Yeah, came up with this. Let me zoom in a bit. Unproved assumption, conjecture. Well, we all know that is one of the definitions of theory. And Penguin replied with a link to Wikipedia for scientific theory. So this went on for a little while, and he was saying how he had proved that Oink was wrong. I threw in a comment. I went back later, and I saw that Penguin was saying to Pig, poor baby, you're too scared to read the truth. And I put this message in. So here we go. Penguin 822875. I posted the full dictionary link. Point 1 was scientific theory. Point 3b was Pig's conjecture definition. He cherry-picked. I want to see the rest of the comment. Yeah, he has deleted it. He's deleted my comment. Pig, I am shocked. That is dishonest. I have screenshots, though. You just got busted. So much for your mentioning God. Pah! Lies and dishonesty. To which Penguin said, haha, nicely done. Now, all over the place, Pig has continued to say that I lie. Now, I am quite happy to admit I can be wrong about things. I do not know everything. I get things wrong, as does everybody. Absolutely everybody. I don't know anyone who has got everything right, except probably Mrs. Sensible. She'd say she's always right. So anyway, yes, he has gone on and claimed time and time again. I've just got to find this other thing to show you though. Yeah, he has claimed time and time again that I have lied. So I'm now going to, I hope, here we go. Let me just resize it and stuff. Transition it across. Here you go, Pig. Here was my comment that you deleted, or that I have said I put in and you kept denying. Pig slapper oink, you naughty cherry picker, from your link, Merriam-Webster. Number 1, a plausible or scientifically acceptable general principle or body of principles offered to explain phenomena. For instance, the wave theory of light. 3b, an unproved assumption, conjecture. So as I say at the bottom, look at number 1. You somehow picked the meaning under number 3b. Cherry picking is a big no-no, Pig. Doing that is dishonest, man. So there you go, Pig, because I'm going to send you the link to this because you continue to call me a liar. I do not like that because I do not lie. I can be mistaken. I can err. I can be corrected. I'm happy to be corrected. The one thing I will say, open and honest and full transparency, is in one of his very latest comments, Pig has said, perhaps YouTube got it. Yeah, of course, perhaps YouTube did. Perhaps you should have thought about that before flinging around accusations of someone lying left, right and centre. Pig, I do not lie. I posted that comment, it disappeared. So there we go, me old China. I'm going to send a link to that section of this stream. I have actually invited Pig to this stream, but each time I've mentioned it, he seems to have ignored it. So before we get stuck into anything else, because those are the two things I particularly wanted to cover, let me just go through, because I did see a couple more super chats appeared while I was waffling, so I don't want to miss those. Oh, right, sorry, beg your pardon. There was Unflat Earth. I think perhaps what I was seeing is the highlight of moderators or something. But Unflat Earth had super chatted about the early donation for Mage 3. Now Pinion donated 59 Swedish krona. Thank you very much, Now. Saying an early donation for MAGM1. I think you better tell us, unless you already have and I've missed it. What is MAGM1? I don't know. Brainery. Mr. Sense, we grabbed that 1 second after you posted it. I wonder why. Exactly. I just knew that post was going to disappear. I've seen people do that before, and I think, do you know, I wish I thought to grab my post that said this, that, or the other. I'm so glad I did that time. Yeah, go slap that pig. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's projecting. I don't know. What is that number top right corner 95? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about, David Oliver. What number? What does that number mean? What number? Oh, this number up here? That's a number of current watchers. Yeah, that is the top right, isn't it? He says, pointing with his left arm. That's left hand. That's confusing. So let's... Mitch was talking about Bible. Yeah, Mo says they remove comments that blow the theory. See, that's what I don't understand. If someone actually posted something that, oh my goodness, he's right. I think that perhaps what he's just posted may have debunked Mage. I'm wrong about something. Then, okay, I might be very embarrassed, might be quiet. I might try and dig out some evidence to actually find to find out if I was correct and they are wrong. But if I finally reached a point, do you know what, they're right, I would admit it, and I would be happy to admit it. Happy is the wrong word. Happy as in more than willing to. Unhappy that I got something wrong. But there we go. We all get things wrong, pig. So, we've got a couple of people here waiting in the stream. Let's bring them in. Make sure I switch on the desktop audio, because I'm up with this and down with the kids, and I can do technology. Did I click the right one? Yes, I did click the right one. Had you there. So let's bring them in. We got, once again, Dasaran LP. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, hello.
Just need to mute the stream.
Okay. Hello, good evening to you. I'm gonna bring in the others as well. Okay.
Yeah, good.
And we've got Mr. Monster of Glass. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Not so bad, thank you, Glass. Not so bad. And I'm also going to bring in what's been newly named as Mitch and Julie. Hello, Mitch and Julie.
Hello.
Yay! So, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all okay.
Better now.
Right sideways. I'm just having fun with preamps.
Lovely.
And you?
leave you to your preamps.
Today.
This is
Lovely
not a
here
preamp
today.
stream, Glass. Sorry,
Nope,
Mitch.
it's certainly a big slapper stream, though.
So
Man.
Mitch, Dasaran, did you see the big slapper pig debacle?
Unfortunately, I have, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God! Unfortunately, I live in a country that's full of pig slappers.
We all do, Mitch.
I've never smashed my forehead so hard.
It's pretty bad, isn't he?
I
Yeah.
told you to get the extra padded oven mitts, you know.
But the thing is, it's not even
No,
you
all
stupid.
out of stock.
He said when I was debating him in some comments, he said, but that's not what your God, Neil deGrasse Tyson, says. And I said, what? That stuff is flat. I know what you're going to say, pig. This is all old beer. Is that the right word? Old beer? Or, do you know what I mean? This is nothing new. You're not showing us anything new. A big fat pile of fail.
It just seems to me to be a very unhappy, ill-traveled, inconsiderate sort of person. I'm just tired of hearing about what the Bible says. I've been studying the Bible. I'm going to be 56 years old. I've been studying the Torah for 50 years, and I can tell you, there's nothing in there that says anything about the world being flat. Absolutely nothing.
Oh, but you've not read the Torah brackets Next Generation, have you, Mitch? You've only seen the original, mate.
Oh, no. I know that other one, too. Don't worry about that.
Actually,
I know all about that one. And I studied it in Greek as well. And it also doesn't say that the world is flat in Greek because, as we all know, at the time Christ was alive, most people knew that the world was a sphere because most of the people who traveled about were mariners.
Yay.
And they knew the
Because
world was
was
round,
the-
so everybody else did.
Yeah. Traveling by sea was the only feasible, fast way to go about.
Yeah, I
By
think
land,
we need to say
you've got to walk.
thanks, mariners. I'm going to quickly bang through a bunch of chats which have suddenly popped up very kindly. One from Mr. Mitch Goldstein, no less, for $2 US. Roll out the barrel distortion. Absolutely. I think he saw the word distortion and flipped his lid. Judy Bassett has very kindly donated €10 without saying anything. Thank you, Judy. That's much appreciated. And I'm not sure how you say it. Alism, I'm sorry. $5 US, saying, how does it make you feel that flatties try to debunk Mage with ignorance and straight up lies? Big fan, by the way. What, of ignorance and straight up lies? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, I'm really pleased. If it draws out some stupid ideas, which I can then bat aside and really smash, then that's for the good, because hopefully those lies won't come up again. Oh, sorry, not lies, but those claims won't come up again, because potentially someone could claim something and honestly think it. I can't say they're all lies. I don't want to, especially after talking about Peg. I don't want to throw around accusations. So yeah, if people throw forward arguments that I can actually categorically smash, then that's got to be for the good. Interesting point, Alison. And Loki Rage super chatted £2 saying they are too mentally invested to admit it's round. I think you're right. And I've mentioned that before. I think it's not just admitting they're wrong about the shape, but because their religion, at least in their eyes, predicates or requires the earth to be flat, they're then questioning their whole religious belief. That's tough. That's very tough. Joseph Petrick, €2. I feel cyberbullied when you're not streaming. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, Joseph. The only reason I don't stream 24/7 is Mrs. S, because she real bullies me. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Mitch knows that, don't you, Mitch? I can tell.
I know. Yeah. I know who's in charge, Mr. S. Don't worry.
And Penguin 82875. Thanks for the shout out. Oink was always good for a laugh. Yeah, thank you, Penguin. What an idiot he was. You absolutely were correct to point out about the scientific theory, obviously. Yeah, and he had made that claim and cherry-picked, which is a lie in itself. It's dishonest. So he cherry-picked, and then, whether it was him or YouTube, my comment, which happened to point out and show and totally bust what he had done, disappeared. That wicked old YouTube, eh? Yeah. So
I don't
sorry.
suspect YouTube did it. I suspect he did it.
Yeah. Well, you may say that, but I couldn't possibly comment.
That's that. Just the nature of it. It says slappers all over it.
Well, yeah, he does. There are quite often comments in his stream saying my comments been deleted, and he keeps saying you guys surely old enough to be able to work a YouTube comment out. But second best Bob actually super chatted £5. Thank you, second best, saying too many super chats in a row. That's right, which is why yours didn't originally get read out at that time. Hey, guess what I came across? I came across about half an hour before coming on stream. I don't know, I didn't get an alert. Bob the Science Guy, who I am subscribed to and who was one of the sponsors of Mage, along with Just Shoot Me and Arctic Haze. He's done a breakdown video talking about my debate with Brandon Toy. I've only watched about the first 20 minutes or so, and he's actually going through and pointing out the techniques that Brandon was either using or trying to use and how I handled them. Well, I got past the first post because he said I handled whatever that was masterfully, so thanks for that, Bob. I don't know how I did with the rest of it, so that's something I'm going to enjoy watching. I don't know if anyone else has caught that.
No, we'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, it's quite a long one because he's pulling apart. He's discussing diagnosing or whatever the entire debate from what I can make out. So it's about 2.5 hours long. But I'm interested because if I can pick up tips, of how to handle things, I will.
What's that? Oh, tips. Sorry.
Yes, tips. I did see an Arnold appear on the screen, and these super chats are coming thick and fast. You guys are so generous. You really are. I better try and keep on top because there's another couple. Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if I super chat a negative amount, will you give me money?
Try it. 10 to the negative.
Let's see.
Julie thinks she's rich now.
Yes.
Well, while you're trying that, General E Shady super chat 5 Australian US dollars. Australian dollars. Thank you. Saying, I've declared nuclear war on Shills, a.k.a. Keith Shippey. Posted in Discord, Mr. Sensible. Pig refused to reply to me too. Hey all. Thank you for that, General. I will have a look at that.
You could always super chat me 10 to the positive $5 if you want.
10 to the positive 5. And Robert Williams, super chat $5, saying, take a picture of graph sheet paper. When a flirt claims distortion, you overlay the semi-transparent pic showing exactly how the lens distorts in frame. Yes. Now, Q, I believe, he did image processing on the Mage video, at least a portion of it, to take out the barrel distortion, and that looks very nice. But, of course, mine was unedited. Sorry, I'm just seeing some of the comments. Unedited footage, because I didn't want anyone to say, hey, you've manipulated that, because we know that's the first thing they'd do.
I think it would be cool if we thought about, from a design standpoint, of having more than the two reference lines.
Well, Mitch,
if we could come up with a way of having a reference grid, it would be a lot easier to show the curve and the barrel distortion, if any.
Absolutely. And my original idea before I announced it was to use a square mesh, that sort of plastic garden mesh, but I couldn't think of a mesh that was rigid enough, because you can pretty much pull that out of shape, and then you'd have to work it out to handle it tight. Hold it tightly. Q has just said, I super chat 10 to the negative 17 Altarian dollars. Q, you can't do that. The Altarian dollar recently collapsed. We all know the Altarian dollar recently collapsed. And I don't want any Flavian pubble beads, because they're useless, because you can only exchange, Flanian pubble beads, because you can only exchange them for other Flanian pubble beads.
I'll send you a couple of Ningis. How about that?
Well, yeah, well, that's all right. I'd need 8 Ningis to convert to a Triganic Pew, won't I?
That's right.
But of course, the Galactibanks won't deal in fiddling small change.
Fiddling.
And for those who don't know, a Ningi is a triangular rubber coin, 8,000 miles along each side. Someone must ask Anthony Riley, what are the internal angles of a Ningi?
Now you can convert the circumference to kilometers by dividing by 1,000.
Well, that's true. Well, hold on. You're going to make a really small Earth. You telling me you divide it by 1,000?
That's right. If I slice something in 1,000 pieces, doesn't it make it smaller?
What about the new Flurf pi amount, which is 3.333333?
What's that?
What, is someone claiming that?
Yes, I can't remember his name. One of the Flurfs is thinking that pi is actually 3.333333 continuously.
Well, could you imagine if it was?
Was that on a Dan video? I'm not sure. I did see someone with a thumbnail for a video saying this flat earther thinks he's debunked pi. Is that the one you're talking about? I've not watched it.
Yep.
And he thinks why does he think it's 3.333?
What?
I don't know, because conspiracy about 3.333 or something.
It's Masons, isn't it? So it's Masons, they get everywhere.
Don't get started.
I think the theory is
it's always, and it's with these guys. It's always NASA and the Freemasons, and I'm sitting there when I go to a Freemason meeting, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I just sit there and I'm like, why on earth? It's like, of all the things that we're worrying about, our membership is very, average membership is in the late 60s. And it's just kind of sad that we're still bashing Freemasons after all these years.
Wow.
And I can tell you, being a Jewish Freemason is a special, unique angle.
Ouch.
Yeah. You should be a flat Earth, a flat Earth Jewish Freemason. You'd really be for it then. I see there's a couple of comments in there. Watto UK.
Hang on. Oh, looks flat to me.
There you go. Well, Watto UK has said that he'll super chat 1 Vietnamese dong. Watto, you can keep your dong in your pants. And Q says an equilateral rubber coin. Yeah. You're not heard of Ningis and pews. Q, you disappoint me, sir. And Mr. Jones 72 says that Riley's Ningi calculator is broken. Oh, Tony Regime wants to super chat 300 leaves, but the currency's collapsed unless someone can go out and burn some forests and revalue the leaf. Oh, Douglas Adams.
It'd be great to 3D print a Ningi.
Well, it's true. But how many ningies would it cost to actually print a ningy? He never said how thick the ningy was, though, did he? It could be very thin.
Yeah, I suppose. I would think it would have to be substantial.
Oh, Inner Space 100 said Pig and Aussie Jesus are certainly of the same tribe. I was looking at that debate with Fight the Flat Earth, and I have realised exactly who Pig looks like. Monty Python, Life of Brian, that guy sat in the pit who hadn't talked for 20 years or whatever.
The hermit.
Oh,
yes. Doesn't that look just like him?
Terry Jones, right?
Yes.
Wait.
With a huge beard.
He had the juniper berry tree.
They're my juniper berries. Oh, I've got to find a picture of that. Of course it brought forth juniper berries. It's a juniper bush. Oh, what was his character's name? Hermit and Life of Brian.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, you can type that in. I've just found it. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yes, I've got one pic. Yeah, that's probably... Oh, it's going to play the video. I don't want to play the video. Unless it's a good picture of him. Let's just jump it forward.
I know a great debate. Leaky Warrior versus Daniel Pratt in a debate against one another.
Yeah.
We're debating who's the stupider.
Yes.
I guarantee you I got more dollars in my wallet right now than they have combined IQ points.
Right, I'm just transitioning his Brian and the Hermit. I am sure that is Big Pig Slapper Oink. Oh dear.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, I reckon it is.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, that's definitely him. Darn and tarnation. What the hell are you doing, boy? Oh, it's there. It's just come on the screen now. That's a hell of a delay I've got, isn't it? That's just what Mrs. Sensible says, actually. Oh man,
there it appeared.
I'm so in trouble with Mrs. S. Yeah.
Don't ask me anything.
Oh man, what fun! It always makes me feel good to come on stream with you guys. It really, really does. Let's just see if super chats come in. Thank you very much for that. Let's call them up. In case people don't know, the super chats don't feed back properly to my OBS for some reason. Oh, and I've got an Arnold just appeared on screen as well. That'll take 30 seconds to come through. I don't know what that was. I'll see what that is first. God, that is quite a delay, isn't it?
Yep. Still hasn't appeared.
Oh, hold on. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Paul Kellett, for the super chat, which I was just going to read out. Okay, Paul Kellett has super chatted £5. Thank you, Paul, saying, if a ningy has sides of 6,800 miles along each side, what are the internal angles? Exactly. But you need to ask Mr. Riley, who we know now has boned up on the internal angles of a triangle, and he's polished his calculator. So by all means, ask him. I think perhaps someone should drop a comment on one of his videos asking what internal angles of a ningy are. But I'm doing nothing with Riley. Not since that whole business with cats.
Leaky actually do flat Earth anymore?
Out of 128 watching, how many's going to go over and leave that comment?
I don't know.
Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to do it.
But I do not want to encourage what's the word? Flooding people's channels, because that would be against YouTube rules. If anyone wants to comment on a video, of course they're free to do so. But I'm not going to organise things like that myself. Remember not to beat myself. That's right, Neil. I haven't watched the very last bit. I think that did Pig boot himself again from the stream with?
Yeah,
he did. Or was it a rage quit? Or did he accidentally boot?
No, he just shut down the whole stream. He just didn't say any goodbyes or something. He just shut it down.
So you can get rid of him by presenting him with a bit of evidence, then.
Which Flat Earther channel was it?
Well, it's Big Pig Slapper Oink.
Yeah.
Big Pig Slapper, Space Oink. But it was on FTFE's channel, and I'd rather give FTFE the view and the like and the advertising watching and so on.
Which channel was it that the Flat Earther accidentally kicked himself off the stream?
It was Big Pig. It was Big.
That was that guy, yeah.
It was Pig when he was debating me and Fight. So it's technically on his channel, but it was being fed through to Fight's channel.
RJM Truth says, here's what I learned from Pig Slacker. If an old guy from Tennessee can't understand something, it must not be true.
At least I wasn't there. You know that. Gotta admit.
General E. Shady super chatted $2 Australian saying a pic of Pig was sent on Discord. I can't see it, my friend. I don't know which. This is in general or something.
Chanel. Oh, it's in general chat. Oh, lovely, yeah.
Thanks for that, General. I'm not going to share that. Funnily enough, that's what he was talking as well.
What would have been nice? Well, the Globers were in control of that stream basically completely. They could have started explaining how Flat Earth was completely wrong while a Slapper couldn't say anything.
Well, we only had about 30 seconds before he just got himself back in. And someone made some comment about doing something naughty on the channel. I wouldn't have dreamt of it, and I am sure without doubt that Fight wouldn't either. So we were only there for 30 seconds by ourselves. PhD Tony was there via Fights, so we just had a laugh at his expense. Well, he's an idiot.
Well, I would donate my high school physics books. I still have them around here. But I don't think he can read, let alone German.
I don't think he can picture either. He did say on Fight that he can't word. He's no good at wordification. Well, I think he's quite good if he made up a word like that.
I think you mean verbification.
Wordification.
Wordification.
Is that a word?
Word.
Yeah, John Rapp.
It is now.
It is now, yeah. Thanks to him. Yes. Well, John Rapp says that FTFE and PhD Tony are naughty boys. We weren't naughty. He kicked himself off, so I challenged Fight to disprove my theory that the Earth is a dodecahedron, and we laughed. and Pigs left it up in the middle of his stream. When he was on the debate with Fight last night, I was only able to watch it today because I had to go to work. He showed a couple clips of his earlier videos to make various points, but each one of his videos was a camera showing something on his screen. He has no idea how to capture video or just edit a video. He just films using his camera whatever he wants. So if I was wanting to mirror this live stream, I'd take a camera and film this live stream.
What actually triggered me the most is he was physically touching the screen, which leaves horrible prints on the
doesn't it?
Screen.
I always get fed up.
I
used to get fed up with my kids. They go to reach forward to the screen when we're playing a game or something. No, don't touch the screen. Point to it. I see we got another guest. Let's bring them in. We have John the Jesse. Hello, John. John the Jesse, you're on live.
You need to untick the mute.
Yeah, unmute your mic.
Hello, John. How you doing?
Let's give him a second. Maybe if it's the first time John's been here, so might be having some technical difficulties. So just in case you're unaware, John, you'll need headphones or earphones or something. Mute your mic and unmute your mic and mute the stream if you're watching the stream. Otherwise, we'll get feedback. Oh,
he left.
He's run away. He's been taken up. Oh no, he's over there.
Sensible.
Yes.
You know what probably would have happened if I would have been on that Flat Earth stream alone like that for a while? I would press play on a Disney song of some kind.
Yeah, but that's naughty.
I would have started listening to Disney.
Well, the one thing is, I don't think he's a monetized channel, so it probably wouldn't have affected him. But I would never do anything to spoil it. I just laugh at the idiocy of someone who, I mean, he'd booted Fight half a dozen times. When Fight came back one time, Fight said something else, and he booted me. And Fight said, But why, Mr. Sensible? He hasn't said anything. He didn't even. He had no idea what he was doing or who. Oh, Tony Regime's made up a word. Sophistry. Things flirts say that they can shove up their bums. Oh, you need to tell that to Level Earth Observer. He's always going about sophistry and pantomimes. Hello, where's Wally? Good morning to you, my friend. We've not been keeping up in touch with each other very well lately. I know that you have sent me a few messages. I have been lax. My deepest apologies. Oh, dear. Oh, and a new name, at least a name I've not really noticed before. Carl Edgner or Einar Christensen. Say, Mr. Sensible, if it's a tablet, you have to touch the screen unless it has a pen. Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But it's way easier to wipe a touch screen clean of fingerprints than it is a normal computer screen.
That is true as well. Oh, yes, Colin. Oh, actually, Colin Six Hitter. Do you know, every time I read your name, I think I read it as Colin Six Shitter. I do. So it just gets that in my mind. It says, how about the word pignorant? Absolutely brilliant. Pignorant.
Ding.
Yeah.
Use it in a sentence, Mr. S.
I'm sorry?
Why don't we use that in a sentence? Pignorant.
We'll try and use it in a sentence tonight, okay? I will try.
All right.
And
I don't mean right now. Let's see if we can get it in there.
Definitely. And talking about getting it in there, we've got another visitor, Brian Pop Robson. Hello, good evening to you, Brian.
Good evening.
Hello, Brian. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening.
That's killed it. How are you, Brian? What's going on? Hello. Brian? Glass?
Malta. I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I just wondered if I dropped out in some way. Schmucker is here. Let's bring Schmucker in. Hello, good evening, Schmucker.
Hi, Schmolka. How you doing tonight?
Hello.
Hello. This is getting very confusing. Right, let's sound off. Going to do a register. Brian Pop Robson, are you here? Oh dear. Has anyone seen Brian Pop Robson? No? Okay. Dasaran LP.
I'm here.
Good. Glass Monster.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. Mitch.
Playing jazz, sir.
Julie.
I'm here.
And Schmucker. Right. Right, we'll remember that. Schmucker's in trouble. Thank you for that. That concludes the register for today. Has anyone seen what's the guy's name? The guy who plays Blackadder. I can't think of his name right now.
Rowan Atkinson.
Yes. And his sketch, Headmaster reading the register sketch.
Oh, we just watched that yesterday.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
Clitoris.
Wonka.
Clitoris. Clitoris.
That's enough of that. You're going to get me demonetized, Mitch.
And now for our regularly scheduled program.
Yes. Right. So someone's mentioning about Leo and Pantos. The Earth is not flat. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Do you know what, MD Fox? I don't know. He's got it in his head about pantomime. I actually did a video a long time ago because he kept going on about pantomime artists. I debunked his video and showed a picture of an oil painting of me as a pantomime artist because I was a dame. Actually, in two pantos, I've been a dame. So he didn't really comment on that. So he really was debunked by a pantomime artist. Oh, dear. Oh, Brian Pop Robson's headphone mic is gone. Give it a retry. Certainly, Brian. You shout out whenever you're ready, okay? That's not much of a shout out, Brian. Try again. Oh, John Rapp says, ask you anything. Which Mars rover are you betting? Sorry, it scrolled up. When the Chinese and US rovers arrive for the first interplanetary robot wars. Oh, I used to love that program. I don't know, what are their names? This one got a really cool name. They need a really cool name. Like Killer 2000 or something like that. Yes, Mighty One, Dame. I can show you the oil painting. It's actually on the floor over there because for some reason Mrs. S won't let me hang it up in the house. She'd have my guts for garters if I hung it up. That was awesome, says Mark Meyer. What was awesome, Mark Meyer? Razor. Oh, yes, I remember Razor. Is everyone dead? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dead?
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
here.
Good.
Just fine. I hear you.
Well, chip in, chaps. I'm running out of words. I'm not that good at wordification. And
Oh, you're
yeah.
plenty good at
And I wouldn't be so pignorant as to say I was.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yay.
I made my-
Oink. Squeal oink.
You know, pignorant and poignant are almost spelled the same way.
Yes.
So,
Oh, man.
It looks like I don't. This is apolitical, but interesting, because it looks like finally America will join the rest of the world in the 21st century when it comes to transportation. And they're really we have a new regime that's going to invest in the ability for Americans to actually get from one place to other places in America. Something that we either have to, we're basically a drive or fly nation. And I really hope that that's going to change.
So what are they doing? Trains? More trains?
We have zero high-speed rail in America.
See, high-speed rail makes sense there because of the long distances between cities. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. But they did invest in this dumbass Hyperloop.
Oh no, we did
Which
that.
my buddy Thunderfoot, who is another channel I support.
Oh, Phil
He's
is
brilliant.
Wonderful. Absolutely stunning, isn't he?
Smash.
Yeah.
And he has dismantled the Hyperloops several times over. And they keep giving this idiot money to build this stupid tube.
Well, it's the same as that, what's named roads, solar roadways. What utter junk.
Correct.
What a stupid idea. I do want to read out a message that I just noticed from Jared Amos saying, "Good evening all. Sorry for the downer, but my aunt just died of COVID on the reservation of South Dakota. Just venting as though it'll help. Wear masks when out, people." Absolutely, Jared. I'm so sorry for your loss. Believe me, I know exactly what that feels like from very personal experience in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, you have my sympathies. And if you heard me at the top of the show, I was venting about this idiot who went to work where my daughter works for 4 days with symptoms without telling anyone, who was waiting on the results of a COVID test, and it turned out positive. Idiots like that deserve to be totally called out and embarrassed. So once again, I'm sorry for your loss, Jared. And I'm sure that sympathies of everyone are with you tonight.
Speaking of sympathies, in the last 3 weeks, I lost 4 people to COVID.
Oh, you're
Not
kidding.
like immediate family, but sort of like extended.
Yeah.
People I went to high school with, people I went to college with, coworkers.
But
It's real bad. In the Dakotas, 1 in 10 people has COVID right now.
and now in the States, you've got more than the equivalent of a 9/11 every single day.
Oh, yeah.
Every
And
day.
as someone
Now,
said on
and
a
it's
comment
gonna
I
get
saw
worse.
somewhere, Mitch, the last time that many people died in a day, the country went to war. It was that serious. Now what happens? That many people die every day, and people issue tweets.
Yeah, basically. If they even do.
Yeah.
know.
January Shady has super chatted again, and it's saying, for $2 Australian, thank you, USA needs metric or go back to the caves, UK too. Well, it's strange in the UK. I mean, in a recent video, I mentioned about Mage being 37 kilometres up, and you can see 400 miles. We just mix and match so seamlessly. We really do. We have pints of beer, pints of milk, but litres of fuel. And yet we measure car efficiency in miles per gallon. Go figure. It works though.
I honestly get confused when you do this in your videos.
I know, and I really
'Cause I'm-
try not to.
I'm really used to metric, and I just since the last few years, 1-2 years, when I started watching English-speaking American channels, which do use inches, feet, and so on, I got a grasp of what these measurements are. Because I think just converting between measurements doesn't give you a understanding of the measurements. You need to think in
you
that
picture
system
it. You picture
to really know what the fuck. To really know what
my
you're
chemist
talking
just
about.
said 400 miles or 400 kilometers. It was 400 miles. Someone did the calculation for me because I always was saying it's about 400 miles. They did the calculation as 600 and whatever it was kilometers, which converted to 422 miles. So the 400 mile estimate was pretty good. And mark we still have stones. I measure my weight in stone. How many stones is someone? It is odd.
That's a unit I don't know even existed.
640 kilometers equals 400 miles. Or right thereabouts.
Yeah, but whatever it was 422 miles it came to, so it's a little more in kilometers. Or kilometers. But don't ask Nathan Oakley about kilometers, will you? Yeah, well, David Oliver, Oink Oink does remind me of Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, or Flat Earth Aussie Roscoe, wasn't it? He changed his name, and now I haven't seen anything of him lately. He's been on this stream 2 or 3 times. I always got on very well with him. I know he said some weird and wonderful stuff, but he was never a problem on this channel.
665 kilometers.
Well, there you go. Oh, we got a couple.
Let's do. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've got a couple waiting. So let's try again with Schmorka. Hello, Schmorka. Are you in here this time?
Yes.
Hello, got you. And we've got another person in there. Let's try bringing them in. Andy130. Hello, Andy130. Run away. Okay, wasn't ready to come in. That's fine. So you're all right in Schmorka.
Huh?
I said, are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah.
So what have you been up to this past few days then?
Depressing.
I'm sorry, say again, you're breaking up a little.
I'm in depression.
You're in depression?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I hope that tonight we can cheer you up a little, and I hope that you're getting any help that may be available. And I'm saying that, actually, I can say that from personal experience. I went into very severe depression. For me, it lasted about 8 years. Did go to the doctor, did go on meds, wasn't really able to work a job. I just did some sort of little bits and pieces working for myself for several years. And the strangest thing is, I had a cousin in Hungary who was terminally ill, and we went to visit. And then he died 3 months later, so I just flew back for the funeral. So I was there by myself for about a week and a bit. And I was ringing back to Mrs. Sensible. It was one evening, just catching up on how things are. And for me, it was all of a sudden, for some unknown reason, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. And that depression, I was so fortunate. It just, what the hell? I feel okay. And I really did. And I was out of the depression. I slipped into it slowly, but I came out of it quickly. It's a tough thing. I have been there.
People who have high intelligence and have high conscience frequently suffer more from depression than other people.
Is that
maybe that's
why?
That's why. Yeah, and that's why people who are emotionally detached don't tend to suffer from depression. But then they don't have emotional attachment in their lives. So it's almost like a social price we pay for having social attachment. And I'm just depressed because I just miss going places and doing stuff.
Yes,
same here.
If you're not depressed, there's probably something wrong.
So Schmorka,
I wouldn't call it depression, but I'm not happy.
But I was just going to say, Schmorka, is that, do you think, I don't know your situation. I'm not trying to pry, and I do not expect or want you to say anything you don't want to say. But is that to do with your situation? Perhaps your work. Perhaps you are under a lockdown without many contacts. Is it anything like that, or do you not know why it might be?
It's complicated.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is, and I'm sure that we wouldn't be able to understand it all.
If I know completely the source of my depression, I can remove it.
Yeah,
I I don't know exactly. I just have no motivation and anything to do.
That's often a side effect of having depression rather than having no motivation causing it. Yeah. There was one particular day, probably about my worst day. I got up in the morning at the same time as Mrs. S. But I didn't get dressed. I just had my dressing gown on, and I just sat on the sofa. And because she was then the earner, she went out and worked. She came back. I was still sat on the sofa. I had not moved all day, apart from perhaps going to the loo. Come back and just sat down on the sofa, still wearing my dressing gown. I had done absolutely nothing. I had no get up and go at all. So, but.
Motivation was completely shut off, is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was that was quite happened quite frequently, but that was the worst occasion.
I've had that happen to me a few times.
Yeah.
And these tube amps, preamps, and stuff give me a reason to have some fun.
Yes, actually, that's quite interesting you saying that, Glass. For me, I don't know if people recall. Well, I don't know if people recall. But I have actually mentioned about having depression once before. Two things I think really helped get. I'm sure the meds helped. They helped steady me and so on. But two things for me really helped. I had a massive project which was rebuilding a Land Rover from scratch. Now sometimes I'd go out and only do a little bit. Other times I would do more. Each time I would set myself a little task. I wouldn't keep going until I was fed up. I think right today I'm going to try and mount the alternator on the engine, whatever the hell it was, and I wouldn't stop until I'd done it. But then I would stop rather than starting something else. So I'd always finish up on a yep, I've done that. So that was a little positive note. The other thing that really did keep me going was Arnold's. I kid you not, Arnold's, because anyone who has got and loves a pet knows how special they are and how much they mean to you. And just having him there, because just accepting me how I was, whether I was on an up or a down, for me that was wonderful. And
that's so sweet.
Yeah, well, it sounds silly, and
That's good.
For me,
No, it's not.
Sorry.
We as humans, we need stuff. We need these things because we have emotional needs, and they're not always met. And pets are a great way of achieving that. Unfortunately, they tend to be quite temporary. That's the distressing thing about pets. They don't last forever.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
we had to speak to the vets recently about one of our other pets. So we said, "Oh, what we got you on? Can you tell us how old that Buffy is, which is Arnold's aunt?" And how old's Arnold? Arnold's 14 years. I'd have said, 7 or 8 maybe. 14! It goes so quick. Okay, well, we do have someone else now ready to come back on the stream. Let's bring them on. This is Andy130. Hello, Andy. Good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Thanks for letting me in.
That's all right. You're very welcome. Have you ever been on a live stream before?
No, actually. I've been on a podcast once, but nothing really that relevant to this.
Okay. Yeah, well, this is quite free format. Nice bunch of people here in with us and a nice bunch of people in the side chat. So you're very, very welcome. So have you followed the sort of flat earth, round earth debates?
Yes, for a while now, yes. You're one of about 3 or 4 different sort of, trying to debunk all the rubbish they come out with. So, yeah, we've been following you as well as a few others for a while now.
Oh, good stuff. Care to name some of the
others? Crazy, the stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, care to name any of the others that you follow or enjoy? Or?
So Simon Dan,
Yeah.
Cats we
Yeah.
watch a bit of. Obviously he does a lot of stuff with Dan as well. There's actually I haven't watched much Fight the Flat Earth. There's a bit of a mix really, and then there's a guy who does sort of not really so many debunking things, just more kind of science and history and things like that, interesting stuff, you know. Mostly I look at factual stuff on here, so not flat earth as such. So it's kind of science stumbled us into this like debate with I mean, I can't believe anyone can even call it a debate. Come on.
Well, no, that's true. But that's quite an interesting mix, and actually that's pretty much the sort of mix that I followed when I first came in. I mean, I was following the flat earth rubbish in online forums for several years without really getting stuck into the YouTube side of things. But yeah, Fight the Flat Earth and I've forgotten who else you said, Cats, they're both very, very different from each other.
Oh, yeah.
And there's room for all sorts. I mean, there's someone like the Creaky Blinder. Have you ever come across Creaky?
Oh, yes, actually, I have seen a couple of his videos as well.
No, he's a very nice guy, and he describes himself as point and laugh. And then you get someone like Simon Dan, who does laugh, but is and Cats, but a lot more on the sciencey side. Fight the Flat Earth does mainly debates and will really rip into them if they are stupid and rude to him. He takes no prisoners. I'm sort of somewhere in between. I like to put in a little bit of science, but I'm not a scientist, and I like to take the mickey out of stupidity. So, and of course, I also recommend if you're more interested in the plain sciencey side, have a look at Bob the Science Guy. He's
that's one person I've not actually looked at.
Yeah,
so,
very gentle guy, knows his stuff. Some interesting videos he's got, definitely.
Cool. Oh, that was one person I didn't mention actually. It's not a flat earth but more of a sciencey thing. There's a guy called Anton Petrov who does some very interesting sort of cosmological sorts of videos, you know, to do with new things that have been found in the universe and fascinating little bits and pieces, you know.
Well, I've heard the name, but I've not seen any of their stuff. So you recommend a look at Anton Petrov, yes?
Yes, Anton Petrov.
Okay. Perhaps someone can drop a link to Anton's channel in the chat. That'd be great. And I'm being absolutely badgered and bombarded with ridiculous messages from someone called Where's Wally, who apparently is a very good channel too. He is.
Oh, okay.
Have a look at Where's Wally.
Okay.
Friend of mine from somewhere down at the bottom of this apparently round Earth. I'm teasing, Wally. We love you, even if we don't know where you are.
Andrea 130. I just sent you a DM directly to Bob's server.
I got it, and I'm in. Lovely, thank you.
Where's Wally? I have just recommended Where's Wally. Where's Wally is recommended.
Yep.
We recommend Where's Wally. We all agree that Where's Wally is worth recommending, and we heartily recommend Where's Wally. Okay, Wally?
Yeah.
I also heartily recommend Professor Dave Explains.
Yes.
Oh,
Dave.
yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Brutal takedown of Flat Earth.
Yeah, he really goes for the throat, doesn't he? Really goes for it.
Well, thank you, Colon. Colon has just and Demon Orb have both just posted links to Anton Petrov's channel in the chat.
Oh,
so
lovely.
On Andy's recommendation, go and have a look at that at some time. And if it's a right load of rubbish, you know who to blame.
Absolutely. Come back to me. I'll fight you if you want. You'll have to find me first.
That's true. That's interesting. Yes. Have you met Nathan Oakley?
I may have heard of him once or.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Not Nathan Oakley.
But what?
Well, perhaps.
What is the status of the docs?
Exactly.
Excuses.
Yep. I was going to say it is now the 17th. So pretty much Nathan has. Well, he has 26 hours now, Nathan, if you're watching, and I'm sure you're a subscriber and a big fan. Nathan Oakley, if you're watching, you've now got 26 hours to post your apology video. I'm still waiting. If it's out there, I haven't come across it and no one's told me about it. And we wouldn't want me to accidentally miss it now, would we, Nathan? So yes, it's till the end of play tomorrow, which is the 18th. But I'm working sort of Saturday, Sunday, and Monday actually, or Monday night. So it'll be Tuesday night is when I'm planning to do a live premiere followed by a live stream to discuss the outcome at that point. Okay.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
I'll be here.
Good.
I'll be here.
I'm always here because in lockdown I can't do anything but be at home. But
And I'm always here because Mrs. S won't let me out the bloody room, will she? Although she did bring me a cup of tea. She did bring me a cup of tea, which I've now finished. So I'm going to have to move on to my cup of tea, which will keep me going for 2 hours if I need to.
We got an MS-59. So is that a part number?
I'm sorry?
Look in the live waiting room. And then MS-59, is that a part number?
I don't know. I shall.
new Microsoft program.
It could be, couldn't it? Mr. Jones 72 said it would be a nice Christmas present if Oakley gets arrested. Well, I do wonder what sort of Christmas he's going to have, because if he hasn't issued a video, I should think we're quite close to Christmas, and I don't know, but I would hazard a guess that nothing is likely to happen by Christmas, in which case I should think it might be squeaky bum time for him over Christmas. His choice. So let's bring in MS-59 then. Hello, MS-59. Hello, MS-59. Calling MS-59.
Hello, MS-59. How are you doing today?
Hello there, MS-59.
No.
All calling MS-59.
Again, it could be mic problems. What I'll do, MS-59, if you can hear me, I'll put you back in the waiting room with Colon, and if there's issues, perhaps he can help sort you out. And if it's just that you didn't want to come on, really, that's fine. Okay, so I'll pop you back. I'll give you one last sort of chance to shout out. Hello, MS-59.
I am still here.
Oh, hello.
No, it's not. Hi.
Good evening
Can
to
you
you.
hear me okay now?
I can, yes, indeed. Oh, Brian Pop Robson's
Brilliant.
just rebooted twice, saying I can hear myself but can't be heard on Discord. I have my IT guy, big slapper oink on it. Wow, you're in trouble there then, mate. Yes, hello, MS-59.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
How's everybody?
Do I recognise your voice?
Brilliant.
Have you been on here before, maybe with a different name? Or is this
No, first time in.
someone else has got a voice that sounds? I'm not saying you're tricking me, but someone else happens to have a name. A voice that sounds very similar. Perhaps they're just from the same part of the world, wherever that is. Who knows?
Maybe.
So, what's your background in
Beautiful
MS?
Yorkshire.
Okay.
Uh,
I was just going to say, what sort of background are you? Do you have a channel? Are you flat? Are you globe? Are you
no,
not interested?
definitely
You
globe.
come in here by accident.
No, I've been watching a lot of the videos recently. Been doing it for about a year. It's interesting, very funny. Currently in an argument stroke debate with what's his name? Sleeping Warrior.
Oh my goodness!
And he's just relentless. He's ridiculous.
But is
I've
he
never-
arguing the flat Earth stuff, or is he arguing sovereign citizen stuff, which he's pretty much moved on to now?
Oh no, I've had that with
Oh,
him before.
God, really?
Oh yes,
Oh,
Mitch,
no.
really. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, because he's talking about all this lockdown. You know, he's anti-lockdown,
I'm not a
anti-vax.
violent man. Not a violent man.
No, but you're married to a violent woman, aren't you, Mitch?
We should be allowed to punch sovereign citizens in the face.
Sorry,
no,
someone
we
needs to
should just
explain to
arrest
me.
them.
What's a sovereign citizen? Is this someone who thinks all of this stuff going on right now is a lie? Or...
Sovereign citizens, also known as free men on the land, are people who
Yeah.
believe that they are they believe their birth certificate with their name in capitals is a contract, and that we all live under maritime law or something, which is why courts have docks and things like that. And they think that they can they can use cars without licenses or insurance or anything, because they're not driving, they are travelling, and they've got a right to travel as you know, a God-given right. They're basically idiots. They end up in court for not having licenses.
Don't you need to?
But basically,
You know-
they believe that they are not a citizen of the country that they're in. They are a citizen unto themselves, and they are not subject to the laws of the place where they are. Now, my experience has been that is not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, they'll end up in
no.
court with a copy of their birth certificate. So when the court says, you know, is Fred Sensible here? And say, no, I'm not Fred Sensible, but Fred Sensible is here. What do you mean? This birth certificate, that's Fred Sensible. I am Fred of the family Sensible. I'm not Fred Sensible. So, you know, your contract about someone travelling without car insurance is with this birth certificate, this contract. It's not with me. And they even do things like write to the authorities saying, I revoke my citizenship, I revoke... They're idiots. Have a look at either sovereign citizens or free man on the land. It's basically the same thing.
Look that up.
Yeah.
Be prepared to be excessively disturbed.
But what is funny?
Happens to me all the time.
What is funny is
If you ever come across Germany, there is a equivalent group here which call themselves Reichsbürger. They basically claim Germany, as in the current state of Germany, that does not exist, and and they believe in a continuation of the German Reich.
Okay.
And they want to be citizens of the Reich, and they think Germany is a company.
Yes, that's right. It's all contracts and that.
It's what the?
And as the snark has quite rightly pointed out, also have a look at First Amendment auditors. They're related. He also mentions Moors, M-O-O-R-S. I've not heard that, but I presume it's the same sort of thing. They're all bleeding idiots.
Crazy.
They get stopped by the police, and then they refuse to properly interact with the police, and almost invariably end up getting their car window smashed and dragged out their vehicles and arrested. They're idiots, and as someone else pointed out, they have never, ever, ever won in court.
No, well,
I
you
wonder
wouldn't, would
why.
you? Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Oh, you're in for a world of fun, a world of face palms as well.
Wow.
Interesting,
Yes.
we have a similar group in Russia.
Okay, what are they called? What's the Russian for total idiots?
They call themselves the Rod, it's translated as generation or family, and they're not like citizens of this country with some family, and they will not.
Aren't there some people who still hold allegiance to the Soviet Union?
But Polish busted them not a long time ago. So
Good evening, PhD Tony. Welcome, my friend. Oh, and PhD Tony, I hope you caught my last video with the little clip of the debate where I and Flat Earth were on, and you came on for a while until you ended up quitting, and then he booted himself while you were on Fights Channel. That was sweet, wasn't it, pal?
That was cool. I wish somebody would have played some Disney music during that time.
You and your Disney music.
Live stream Disney music on it.
Oh, while I was watching that, I was in hysterics.
It was pretty special, wasn't it?
That would have been a nice copyright match.
Oh, got a super chat from Foe Hammer 335 for $5 US, saying just came from PhD Snoozy. The four swordsmen send their regards. Brackets, the four swordsmen are Little Wolf, Skydiver Tanner, myself, and Dark Steve. Well, thanks for the regards, guys, and thanks for the super chat, Foe Hammer. Oh, and Faux Hammer. I was just thinking, where I've done something with Faux Hammer recently, but I'm really looking forward to that. That should be fun, and I hope other people involved have ponied up and done their part as well in your project that will remain secret, because I don't dox. Not after you've given $5 US anyway. Thanks.
Paid for your silence.
Definitely. Oh, Glass Monster's dropped out. I don't know if that was accidentally, and I've had oh right. I've been given a link that I'm going to send on to someone. If you just bear with me a second, this is quite important, so I'll just briefly do this. If everyone could forgive me for a second. Someone has just been sent a link that was sent to me. Okay, so if people can check their DMs, someone will have got an alert. Check your DMs. Thank you for that, the person who sent that to me. That link with a picture of a shield and a sword on. Thank you. Right, and I've had another super chat come in. Let's just refresh again. This is so annoying that I don't get the super chats come through to OBS. So I have to do it through YouTube, and it only shows you a short version. Then so you have to refresh, you see the short version, and then go to another page to see the full. It's PhD Tony. Thank you, PhD Tony, for $5 saying, "Hey, Mr. Sensible, I did indeed catch that. You're one of the few to skip me losing my rag." By PhD Snoozy means me. No, PhD Tony, I'm not surprised you lost your rag. I don't know if you watched or if it was in the time when you were out before you got back on again. So did I. Oh, actually, it was after. I basically did the same as you and left in the same way. And that's the first time I've ever done anything like that. First time I have. Right, Glass is out, good to go. Let's bring Glass back in. Hello, Glass.
I'm back.
Yay, he's back.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button.
Never mind. Did you boot yourself? Did you? Yeah. I must introduce you to my very good friend, Pig.
No. Well, there's click. I went over to the wrong server by accident.
The old wrong server. I'm sure that's just what Pig did. I'm sure. Yeah, you're as bad as Pig. Definitely. Oh, Major Tom has super chatted £10.
No, that's rude.
Playing on the wrong side of the servers.
Yeah,
Loving your content, Mr. Sensible. Keep it up, from Major Tom. Thank you very much, Major Tom, from Ground Control.
Why'd you degrade me so bad? Why'd you degrade me so bad?
Why did what?
Comparing me to Pig Slapper.
Sorry, Glass. I didn't catch at all what you're saying.
I said you degrade me so bad. You compared me to Pig Slapper. Oh no!
Oh,
that bad.
I'll say to you what I say to my girls. Look. I don't like to see a young girl cry. So clear off, would you? That usually makes that either makes them laugh or gets them even more angry. But hey, I'm always in trouble anyway. Makes no odds. There's me, Mrs. S, and 3 daughters. So what chance do I stand, eh?
I have the opposite.
Absolutely.
Oh, do you?
Chance.
The exact opposite in a way. Yeah, I have my husband and 4 stepsons.
4.
Yeah,
and I bet you give them all a hard time.
So
they're probably all cowering from you, aren't they?
Hey.
They're all cowering away from you, in
of
fear.
Course, yeah, they're all absolutely frightened of their wicked stepmother.
Oh wow. Oh, Max Mac asks if I've got any thoughts on negotiating a possible collab with Flat Earthers for Mage. Well, but that would be Mage 3. Might be worth seeing if there are any takers. Well, I have had that suggested numerous times. There are some concerns with regard to some confidentiality issues, but even leaving that aside, I can see some advantages to it, but you can just imagine, if we picked a Flat Earther at random, let's say Big Pig Slapper Oink, and he came along convinced that I'm faking it all, but he sees us load the cameras and that, and maybe he puts one of his cameras in. We do the balloon, it lands, he gets our footage, he's got his own footage, and he turns around and says, do you know what, Mr. S, you're quite right, the Earth is a sphere. Then the first thing that will happen is all the other flat earthers will turn on him and say, you're a shill. So we've got nowhere, really. I suppose we converted one person, but they're not going to believe anything.
It's a cult, dude.
It is. It is. It
It's very
fulfills
hard
so many of the criteria of a cult. Yeah.
And you can't just kind of debate people out of a cult. That's why when we get involved with debates in our debunking community, it kind of sets me a little on edge, because it's not a debate. A debate is when you have two opposing viewpoints about an abstract idea, and we argue the merits of abstract ideas. Here we have something which is patently, observably false. So you can't really debate about it. It's not, I don't know, it's hard to say. Whenever I watch these debates, I'm inevitably kind of disappointed, because the person who supports the flat earth inevitably ends up refuting based on incredulity, not accepting the simple axioms of scientific inquiry, relying on such intangibles as interpretations of the New Testament and writings about the New Testament to kind of build their own theory of flat earthness. And no one has produced even one model of flat earth that satisfies the three criteria that we said it needed to. We all agreed. I remember, if you remember, quite some time ago, we all said, there's three things: seasons, sunrise and sunset, and eclipses. And if you can't explain those three with your models, get lost. We don't want to hear you.
Well, actually, explaining just one of them might be nice.
But you see, you can explain just one of any of them. The problem is when you combine them. For example,
that is true, Mitch. But even then, explaining any one of them, you can throw word salad at it to make up a story that describes how it might work. But it doesn't. Even one doesn't hold up scientifically under flat Earth conditions. It's just nuts.
No.
Funnily enough, I'm in, like I say, a conversation with Sleeping Warrior, and asked him about skydiving.
Oh yes.
And terminal velocity.
Oh yes.
How it works in his view on it, and his words are, just more dense than your medium. Like, well, okay, give me a mathematical explanation for that. And he refutes it by saying, why do you think maths legitimizes your claim? Don't understand the scientific method.
Because maths describes reality.
Actually, I just want to give a thanks for a note of recognition someone's given. I hope I say this. It's either Jana or Hannah Polkinen. It says, thanks, Mr. S, for the idiot ASCII idea. I think it was... was it? It wasn't. It was... sorry?
That was me. Sorry, I managed to fix my problem. Sorry.
Oh right. Yes, in one of my videos, I put a coded message, I think, on the title, and it says that his band or her band's soon released music video will have some embedded binary message. Nice one. Do I get a shout out on your album when you're rich and famous and you get number ones? Just give a thumbs up and say check out Mr. S. That'd be great. No, you're very welcome. That's nice. I might do that again sometime. I tend to throw in little lines from either comedies or films that I like. Some of them are pretty obvious. Other times they're a bit more subtle. And then occasionally someone will pick up on one and put a comment in there, and I tell them that they're the winner. That's always nice when someone spots something that's quite subtle. But yeah, I was pleased with that idea, and I'm glad and I'm happy that you're running with that. Nice one. And actually, while I've got the channel, I just do a check, because I think there was super chat. Or chats, I'm not sure which. Yeah, it's chats. Major Tom, I said, £10, said, loving your content, Mr. Sensible. Keep it up. Thank you, Tom. And Paul Dolman, super chatted £5 without saying anything. Thank you, Paul. The Sound of Silence is excellent. And General E. Shady, once again, it's the $2 Australian man. My $500,000 challenge, still not a single taker. Is that the... Someone said that they were putting together a challenge. I'm not sure if it was you, General, or someone else. And at the time they said, "Oh, I'm up to $267,000. Do you want to pony up?" And I said, "I'll offer some cheese." And then there was a comment. There was a comment in another video that they put, it's currently running at $289,500 and some cheese. But I can't remember if that was you, General, or someone else.
Well, we all know Mr. Sensible plus cheese equals fun.
Oh, thank you. And we're still trying to get together to sort out this video with Arnold and his space cheese. Space biscuits. I've got the cheese, haven't I?
I guess
They're there, here, ready, in safe storage. But Arnold's busy he's busy doing some important kipping on my bed right now. He's curled up right in the middle of a double bed, and he looks very happy.
Well, cats are amazing creatures in that they can take up the more surface area of the bed than their actual surface area.
Yes.
That is not easy to do.
Colon, I see there's two people that are in the Discord waiting room. Perhaps you can just DM me and let me know if they're ready or want to come in. One of them is Andy. Yeah. I don't know if Andy accidentally dropped out or decided to drop out. Perhaps you just let me know. And there's another person with a very interesting name. But they are in a live waiting room. There is a live, just in case anyone doesn't know, there is a live read me first, and it does make clear that if you're in the live waiting room, that without warning, just like Harry the Bastard, you can get pulled into the live. Hello, good evening, Harry the Bastard.
Hello, Bastard. How are you doing today?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Harry. Yeah, how are you?
What's your name?
I'm doing excellent. I'm glad I could finally jump on when you were live. I've had a bit of timing, been a bit out of sync for a while.
I scheduled it just for you, my friend.
Oh, is that right?
I'm not sure what your time zone is, but I've been running for 26 hours flat to make sure I can cover it.
No, I'm in Australia. I am Steve York from Just Shoot Me. So,
everybody, Harry, Just Shoot Me, one of the 3 sponsors for Mage. Thank you, and I hope beyond hope that you enjoyed Mage, the follow-up videos, and all the Mage Rage debunk things that have gone on.
It was sheer joy followed by head slapping. So yeah, it's been actually, when it first happened and Hippie said, "It's flat, dude," I thought, oh my god, this is going to be fun.
Yes.
I didn't think it would take like half an hour, but it was just, it's been a laughable thing to watch. I don't know. I can't believe that people can look at those videos and say, "You shouldn't be putting on a wide-angle camera." So,
yes,
why?
The number of them that chose to look at that. Even the one that's entitled wide angle, it's on the YouTube. It's entitled wide angle on the video. It says in the description, "This is a wide angle," and I say on the video, "This is the wide angle. Don't use it for debunking the flat Earth." Which one do they choose? The wide angle ones. Bloody idiots.
And then bitch because you put it there. It's like,
I had who was it? Someone actually said, "Well, why did you put that up?"
Right. Remember, we talked about it before the launch, and we said we agreed not that we wouldn't be necessary for us to bet each other, that they would misuse the camera footage and misrepresent what that footage was. And lo and behold, they sure did.
Absolutely, but that's their stupid.
Every time but note that every time you might refer to some legitimate NASA whatever, they all say, "Well, why didn't they put a camera on?" Looking back, it's like, well,
yeah,
isn't that the argument they're saying?
And then they call fake on it if they do.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. Crafty Keeler super chatted €2. Thank you very much, Crafty. This is for the Arnie Appreciation Fund. Cheers. Appreciate that, Crafty. And I hope you're doing well. We must catch up sometime soon. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. Oh, Harry, what I must say is the number of comments that I came across, and hopefully you saw them, is people saying, Just Shoot Me. What a fantastic name for your rigging company. Absolutely brilliant.
I've been trying to find one for, because I started doing parachute rigging in the mid-90s and worked full-time for about 2 years for a company and got trained up. And I was going off alone. The company ended up going bankrupt, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to call myself? Because I was terrible at coming up with names. And it took me about 4 years, probably 5 years. But then, so it was around 2000, and the TV show Just Shoot Me was on, and it suddenly dawned on me, oh, I'll have to go with the CHUTE.
But that Just Shoot Me, that was that SHOOT.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just fit, because it's like, oh, parachute, yeah. Oh,
yeah. No, when you first sort of contacted me and sponsor, and I got the details of the company name, and I showed Mrs. Sensible as well, and just thought it was such a brilliant name. Absolutely great.
Yeah, I think it fit, and it's good. I hadn't really used it. I only really registered it a couple of years ago. I'm still in the process of trademarking, but I had a long time off. Oh, yeah?
Is there a special way that you have to fold parachutes in the southern hemisphere because you guys fall up instead of down?
That's true.
Yeah, well, I do.
Well, actually, surely you start off. Surely down there, you start off with them fully open, and as you land, they're perfectly folded up.
If we could work that out, how to do that, that would be a thing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then people will have to pay you to carefully unwrap them and deploy them so that they can jump safely.
No, I'm all for it. More money that way.
Because they've got to be carefully unwrapped to make sure they fold
But they
correctly.
would be one-time customers because they would fly off into space.
I'd have a few pre-allocated ones if that were the case.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I've been wanting to catch up just to say, congratulations, and it was just awesome to see it happen. I came in quite late to the picture, and I'd sort of, to be honest, I'd actually been looking at doing a similar thing for years, and I came across a website in South Australia called Project Horus, and they provided the service for doing this for people who wanted to put things up there, like cameras or experiments or whatever. Yeah. But they were a bit, I don't know, they weren't really that active anymore, and yeah, so I kind of missed the opportunity, and I'm quite busy. I've got too many things going, so it was just going to take a long time. And seeing you were doing it, it's like, oh, cool. And the fact that it didn't work out the first time, I thought I need to get on this and help out, because the idea that you'd be out of pocket so much to have to do it yet again, it was like, oh, this is my opportunity to try and help out a bit.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope that you use the fact that you sponsored that in some way. I don't know, on your website or something, and say, "Hey, we sponsored this." Now, I'm not saying that from a point of view of gaining views or subs, although that's very nice. But just to, I don't know, it's not for me to tell your business, but do feel free if you want to, of course.
No, I'll absolutely do that.
And so I'll definitely take this chance to say thank you. It was very, very much appreciated.
No, it was an absolute pleasure. I just hope you can maintain the enthusiasm while facing such rampant stupidity.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I like a good argument.
But I mean, a good healthy argument's one thing. The crap you've been facing, I'm like, oh, it's just. I personally couldn't cope if I had to deal with it directly.
But then, if that was the case, I wouldn't do this.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't worry
I've got
about
a couple of. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I do have a couple of ideas for videos that I've been mulling over for about 12 months now, and for me, I'd almost be kind of like Cool Hard Logic. No, not Cool Hard Logic. Sorry, I can't think of his name. Might have been, but they'd be more like a fire and forget video. Just put it out there and not look at it again. I think I'd go insane. I'm just not that patient. So, yeah, I think your style and the way you just very, very calmly present and very calmly deal with people, I think it suits what's going on here, because there's been too much anger, and I think the way I've seen people opening up from the flat Earth side and actually willing to chat to you has been quite interesting. So.
Yeah, I wish more would trust that. I mean, the case in point is Big Pig Slapper, because he seems to refuse to come on here. I don't know why. He's got something against me. Right from the very beginning, his back was up, and all his emails were very argumentative and very demanding. He seems to have sorted it out with fights, so they're able to have a debate. And I'd like to. I'd have him on here, and I'd talk. He might be a difficult person to control because he talks all over Fight, and then as soon as Fight tries to say something, he complains about Fight talking all over him. But I can do that. I don't have to agree with someone to have a civil conversation with them.
Depends on whether or not they want a civil conversation with you.
But they usually don't. But what I noticed with you at least is you got the patience for it, and that I think seems to count with some of them anyway. I've seen one or two that have actually reached out and finally come on your stream, and it's like, wow, I didn't think that would ever happen.
Yeah. What about Multi Tom Tom? I mean, yes, I've been asking him for a long time, and he finally trusted me enough to come on the Discord. I think that was on my last stream. He joined us for a short while because I had Brandon Toy coming on. I think that was the stream he was on, but he came on, and so we chatted. And hopefully he knows. Well, at least if I go on there, I'm not just going to get him giving me abuse and being obnoxious, because I wouldn't. I can talk with him, disagree with him, tell him why I think he's wrong. I mean, the worst that someone like that would get from me is, look, you're being an idiot. That's stupid, because that's as far as it gets. He's not going to get me effing and blinding at him, doing an Oakley and muting him and just rant. No, that's not me. Not at all.
Now that's Pig Slapper's job.
Well, it'd be interesting. I mean, I would like to talk to him.
He hasn't reached Oakley levels yet, so...
I don't know that he is like that. I can't imagine he is. I think he's got some very strange ideas. He's very, very wrong. He is very Dunning-Kruger. He thinks he knows so much. He's put forward the oldest of the old of flat Earth arguments, and he does have some really bad logic fails. On Fights, they were talking about was it hydrogen that was found beyond the moon from old data that was gathered by the SOHO satellite 20 years ago, but was only analysed 2 years ago, and then they found this out and did a study on it. And he's saying, well, how come we only discovered it 2 years ago? Well, they only looked at that data 2 years ago, and he couldn't grasp that.
Yeah.
And then in other ways,
when they do that, it's like
that mission probably gave data that was more interesting than there's hydrogen on the moon. Ooh.
Well, I mean,
plus they only get $53 million a year. There's only so much money, or so far that money can actually be spread. They don't seem to understand it takes time to do work. To do it properly, it takes time to do it. You can't.
It either takes time or a truckload of money. And
well, I think I just brought in Rodrigo. Hello, Rodrigo. Are you there? You ready?
Hey.
Good evening to you. Another new guest. Welcome to the channel.
Good night for me.
Oh, is it? What sort? Can I ask whereabouts across the flat plain you are?
Oh, I'm in the flat Brazil.
Flat Brazil. Okay.
Flat Brazil. Flat south of Brazil.
Yep.
It's very flat here.
Quick, everybody, please Twitter out, Facebook out. I'm showing a Brazilian on my channel right now.
They do exist. They really do exist.
They do. They're real. Anyway, good evening to you, Rodrigo. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do? Not doxing, but what you do. Have you got a channel? Are you flat, globe? What's your interest?
Well, I love science, so I'm not a flat anything. And I'm a software developer here in Brazil. Work a lot with cloud computing, and I've been following Glass Monster from channel to channel, and here I am.
Glass, you've got a stalker. Oh.
Yeah, it's something like that. I just found this guy in I think it was the Intergatten server, and I'm just hanging. It's kind of funny.
And I can't believe it. I've got Brazilian stalker, and he's not even female.
What a shame.
Rodrigo, you better be careful. These people obviously have some issues, so just be careful.
Yeah, I got to follow my kids.
I know.
Well,
Stalk me. Rodrigo will follow me.
Well, you're very welcome anyway, Rodrigo. It's good to have you on. This has been quite a nice and lively stream. As I said, I thought about doing this last night when I looked at my shift patterns, and then I thought this afternoon, yep, I'm going to do it. But I had no plan other than to cover the 2 points, the comments I'd made on Pig's channel that apparently went, and the other thing, which I've forgotten now, which I mentioned at the top of the stream, and then just to see what happened. That's why I've had this as Ask Me Anything. This is one of those nights, it's let's see where this goes. As I put in the description, chit chat, nattering, chin wagging, and jibber jabber. And I think we've pretty much done that.
I'm going to have to shoot off, guys. My wife's going to work in a minute.
Oh, well, listen, MS, thank you very, very much. Hope to see you again on the stream sometime.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good stuff.
The answer's 42.
It is indeed. It is indeed. All we got to do, though, is find out what that bleeding question is.
Flint is right. Look what Flint said in the chat text. Well, bad luck. My stalkers are very sexy and only see them when I'm bad at reading.
He said, I only see him when I look in the mirror. Wait a second.
Yeah.
And Adam L is a kind of stalker. I just follow when I'm available. And Daybreaker stalks himself, yes.
Hey, Rodrigo. Ciao.
Quit your jibber jabber, mighty one. Quit your jibber jabber. Where was that from, jibber jabber? I recognise that as a quote from somewhere, but I can't think where.
Jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber.
It's from a poem, but I can't remember what poem that's from. Jibber jabber.
Don't know. I thought it was from some. I thought it was from some TV programs, like do you remember Different Strokes with Arnold? Quit your jibber jabber.
Different Strokes.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Willis? That's going back a bit. That's good. Oh, the A-Team. The A-Team. So that would be Mr. T. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I knew I recognise it. I couldn't think for the life of me where it came from. And now everybody else seems to know. Faulty Towers is Bunny Killer. Basil?
It predates both of those, A-Team and Faulty Towers, I'm sure of that. But I can't think where.
No, nor can I. Never mind. Let us not be downhearted siblings.
Anyway, can I jump in?
Of course you
I've
can.
got this bloody mic working.
Good evening.
It only took Pig Slapperoink half hour to sort it for me.
Oh, well, that's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Now you got to press that button that says "Boot thyself."
I was he's very proud of that photograph of the ISS, and I sent you the link in Twitter for the actual Daily Mail article that comes from.
You did.
Him.
Yes,
it absolutely debunks him.
For those who might not have seen it, he showed a picture. It was a very colourful picture of a horizon with half the sun setting behind it. That seemed to be go over his head. But he was saying it proved the flat Earth, and it did look pretty flat. And I said, "Where's that picture come from?" And he was saying it's the ISS. Well, yeah, we know that, but where did you get it from? As you just said, it was on a Daily Mail website. But I said, because that sun looks awfully big, that looks really, really zoomed in. And it turned out it was zoomed in. It was a zoomed in portion of a photo, and we don't know how zoomed the photo was in the first place. He's an idiot.
Total idiot.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
That's all I come on for tonight, and it's taken me half hour to say.
Not to worry. It was so worth saying, Brian. I've got a couple of super chats to read out from General E. Shady again. $2 Australian saying Homer Simpson looks like Einstein near Flurfs. Oh, actually, I haven't expanded it just in case. Yeah, it looks like Einstein near Flurfs. Thank you for that, General. The Snark, €2. The A-Team. The Arnold Team, Bring biscuits. And General Shady again. He's got a $2 button, I think. $2 Australian saying Al Bundy is a god. No peg. Sorry, that's wasted on me. I don't know who Al Bundy is. Anyone know who Al Bundy is?
Bundy.
Al Bundy.
Yeah, from an American show.
American sitcom.
What's no peg then?
Peg Bundy is Al Bundy's wife.
Ah, okay. Apart from that, great super chat, General. I appreciated that. Thank you. Sorry, that's my bad. I wasn't aware of the show. And a Tonic 65 super chat is £4.99. Thank you, Tonic. A few quid to help you keep up the good work, Mr. S. Thank you very much, Tonic. That is very, very much appreciated. Really is.
Al Bundy, Married with Children was the actual show, I think.
I've never even heard of that. Not heard of that.
It
Oh,
was a
Q
pretty
has.
funny show. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a try. Would you recommend that one then, Mitch, if I can get hold of it? I expect it's on YouTube or something. Would you recommend?
Yeah, first couple seasons are really, really funny.
When was that? The 80s, wasn't it?
Sorry, General Shady just chatted $2 Australian saying unsubbing. No, don't, General. Oh, man. There'd be no one in here without you, my friend.
Yeah, that was 1987, I think, that Married with Children. And Christina Applegate was Kelly Bundy, Al's daughter, and she was considered to be quite attractive.
Okay.
And definitely worth checking out.
I will try and do that. And I'll say quickly, because Fohammer335 has just super chatted $5 saying, it's time to sleep a bit. My regards to Mr. Sensible, Tony, Crafty, Clive and others. Thank you for the stimulating conversations and all the chats. Well, thank you, Fo, and you have yourself a good night. Sleep well, my friend.
Hey, Mr. S,
Yes.
Are you familiar with Futurama?
I've seen a couple bits, and the bits I've seen are very, very funny. Same with Family Guy as well, and that one with that guy. I'm so bad. The guy who's like a Secret Service agent.
American Dad.
That's the one. But I just don't get time. The only TV I watch is a bit of news while I eat my tea or whatever when I come home or before I go to work. Because the rest of my time is YouTube.
Yeah, right. If you've seen Futurama, there's one of the characters is Leela. She has one eye. She's
no, don't mention the eye.
Yeah.
I saw that clip. What's with the eye?
And her voice is Katie Seagal, who was Peg Bundy in Married with Children. So, that's
any
what
relation
she's
to
doing.
Steven Seagal?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Simple,
Hello, Glass.
You said you eat your coffee or tea? I usually drink mine.
No, I said eat my tea.
Why would you have to eat it?
No, eat tea.
He freezes it and then he bites bits of it off.
I'll tell you what I've got into big time recently, and that's those coffee flavourings, caramel and whatever. Really got into that. So there's a change of subject. I'd never really tried them, and for some reason we just got one of those little bottles. Loved it so much I bought a litre bottle. There we go.
I've got a case with the 5 different ones in the ginger, all that. They're quite nice.
Yeah,
vanilla.
I'll stick to black.
Well, I might buy one of those multiple mini sets, so I can try different flavours. But I've got through a thick end of a litre in about 3 weeks, so it's not good. Never mind.
Adds extra sugar as well.
Yeah, don't check the ingredients. I think it's about 87% sugar. But it says flavouring at 87% sugar. Well, what the hell's the rest then? It doesn't that unless there's sort of 13% flavouring, but I can't really imagine that.
Well, now you know why they taste so good.
Oh yeah. Hey, apparently American bread is absolutely loaded with sugar.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's why we have to have it in America. All my American friends know this. If you look at bread, it will always say enriched bread. And the reason is because if they don't put vitamins or vitamins in it, it can't be considered food. It has no nutritional value unless they add
What?
vitamin C and vitamin A and so on. Same thing
What?
with breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereal is not food. It's basically industrial waste. Cornflakes are industrial waste. Corn chips, like Fritos, they're basically industrial waste. All the nutritional value has been removed from them. It's just the cellulose that's left over. But it's so
industrial
good with
waste.
salty. Yeah. We love it.
I mean, what's so hard about bread?
Yeah, I don't know
Now
why
I
they
need to
I mean, you get
talk about it. I've been to the UK once. And sorry, Mr. S, but I have the standards of bread from the bakery in Austria, which is good.
Yeah,
it's basically just wheat, yeast, water, and salt.
And if it's done properly, it is absolutely fantastic. And you're absolutely right.
We excuse for bread you get in the UK supermarkets. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
but
that's
not good.
Yeah, no, it's not. Certainly, all that sliced stuff is basically something to put fillings on.
Right.
It's not
Something
bread.
Yeah.
But there are proper bakeries where you can get proper bread, of course. But my cousin, the guy who I mentioned earlier on, who had the terminal illness, and then I went back for his funeral, he was a baker. And in Hungary, there are these fantastic crescent-shaped rolls that they sprinkle rock salt on, called kifli. Absolutely fantastic. I love them.
Yep. Adam.
Butter.
Oh, you've had kifli in Hungary, have you, Mitch?
Not in Hungary, but there used to be a fabulous Hungarian restaurant in Fairfield, Connecticut, right by the train station, called Pearl of Budapest. And it was run by this old Hungarian couple. Oh my God, they had all the pastries and all the breads and the desserts and the gypsy food, which is just a code word for Hungarian food cooked with bacon. I don't know why that, that is gypsy, but butter.
But I don't go a bundle on the sweets, I'm afraid, with Hungarian food. For some reason I just don't get on with them. But did you ever try the cold fruit soup, hideg gyümölcs leves?
Yes. The cherry soup, the sour cherry.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Isn't it just? And it's so different than anything else. And if someone sees it or hears about it, it doesn't seem right. That's not soup. That's like a fruit salad. Well, that's what we call it here as a sweet, but it's not, is it? It's sweet and savoury.
Proper soup.
It is a real soup, but with
Sensible.
a mixture of sweet and sour cherries. Yes.
Oh my God!
It is absolutely required to put butter on your bread or your toast. This is an absolute requirement.
Right, I do. Mrs. S eats bread dry.
And your
if it's really good bread, you can eat it dry.
Yeah, good bread doesn't need any butter. Proper bread doesn't need anything.
Well, we've got two new people have come in. We have Mr. Sir General E. Shady. Welcome.
Hello, Mr. S.
Thank you for all those $2 super chats. You are a star, sir.
Someone has to try and teach you values like married with children.
Well, thank you. Anyway, welcome. You've been on before, haven't you? I can't remember.
Once or twice.
Yeah, I thought
not very often, but once or twice.
But you're often in the chat anyway.
Always. Time zones aren't great, but I try.
No, I know. It's just difficult, isn't it? It's amazing, really, that we sort of managed to hook up across this flat plate that we live on with people like you, Wes Wally, and other people from near the edge. It's quite amazing. And of course, we got
on Nocturnal.
And we got Rodrigo over in Brazil as well in here tonight. So we have that disc pretty much covered. We got people in America. We want it back,
oink,
you know. We want it back again, Mitch. You know.
Actually, it's dark everywhere for everybody who's here, so maybe we're wrong.
Or maybe the sun just ran out.
Round the earth.
Well, it's only a couple miles.
Put new batteries in.
Yeah, well, that's right. If it's only a couple miles across, and who was it? Was it Tom who was talking about it being fire? Well, I mean, I don't know. What is it? Some sort of super coal or whatever? But even then, a couple miles, I don't think it would last that long. Hey, Chris Durham Music Channel. I've got to say a shout out to Chris Durham Music Channel. Chris, I put this stream up to go on at 8:45, and you put a message. First message in here said, that's the exact time my premiere is going out. So I bumped my stream by 15 minutes for you, my friend. So I started at 9. I hope your premiere went okay. I couldn't look because I was getting set up for the stream. So I hope it went well anyway.
Actually, it's funny. Demon Orb, one of our fine moderators, said, Mr. Sensible, if a person on either side of Earth drops a slice of bread, does the Earth become a sandwich?
I don't know.
And if you guys have ever followed Frank Zay, who is a kind of a YouTuber and TED talker, he actually did an experiment called Earth Sandwich, where he got people on other sides. And he actually accomplished it a couple times. He got people on the opposite sides of the Earth to put a slice of bread on the ground and take a picture of it. And they actually made I'll actually try to find that for you, but it's a marvelous TED Talk about the Earth Sandwich.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
not a
That
proper
was
sandwich.
extremely well done.
It's not a proper sandwich if not sliced from the same loaf of bread.
Well, that's a little tougher to accomplish, but yeah.
Actually, with today's high-speed modern transport, oh wait a minute, lockdown, I forgot.
Well,
lovely lockdown. Just gone into tier 3 here. Lovely.
Yes, same here.
They'd have with one loaf of bread halfway between, send half it one direction, the other half the other direction at the same time.
Well, I saw a theory about
worth excuse. If it's not from the same slice of bread, it's not evidence.
Well, I saw a thing about, cats always land on their feet and bread always lands butter side down. So if you strapped some bread that was butter side up on a cat and you dropped it, it would actually keep spinning round and you could perhaps harness the energy.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, keep spinning. It's a bit like learning to fly in Hitchhiker's Guide. You just get distracted and forget to hit the ground when you trip over and you're flying.
The perpetual motion cat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Flat Earther when they try to debunk Mage.
Yeah. Round and round.
Yeah, no worries, Chris. It's my pleasure. You've been busy. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy the playback. It's been a fun night, I think. It's just there's a couple of bits of news at the top of the stream, and then we've just been kicking it. Definitely kicking it tonight. And as usual, that's usually the best stream. Usually the best stream. Well, has anyone else got any news?
We're heading off, Mr. S. We got dinner coming up.
Oh, as always, what do we got tonight? What do we got tonight, Mitch and Julie?
We have meatballs and sausage simmering in some tomato sauce or tomato sauce. I don't want to confuse anybody. And we'll make some linguine and make a Sicilian dinner tonight. So,
very nice.
And it's the last night, just so you know, it is the last night of Hanukkah tonight.
Right.
So tonight is the night that we light all 8 candles plus the extra candle. So it's always kind of like a special night because it's the end. It's also the brightest and the menorah looks the coolest when all the candles are lit. So that's tonight.
So Mitch, me not knowing much about it, you said it's the last day. Are there any sort of things that you have to abide by, like fasting or anything like that? I just do not know what's involved.
Actually Hanukkah. Yeah, Hanukkah is not a holiday; it's a festival.
Right.
So it has different rules. There's no. It's not meant to be a very strict observance, but there are traditions that we do, and one of them is we light the menorah, the 8-branch candlestick. We light 1 candle on the first night, 2 on the second, etc., etc. So tonight is the night we light the 8th night, and then tomorrow.
So Rodrigo, we're getting a lot of feedback from your channel, from your mic.
We'll turn the TV off.
No,
I thought Mitch was getting it in the neck from Julie.
It was my girlfriend yelling.
No. You'd know it.
Oh yeah.
So, allow me to bid everybody a fond farewell.
Good night.
Stay Stay safe, stay sane. We'll see you all soon.
Thank
Have
you
a
very,
wonderful
very
night
much,
and
Mitch.
enjoy.
Thank you very
Hey,
much,
Mitch,
Mitch and
take
Julie, for
care.
joining us. Really appreciate it as always. Julie, you
All
take
right,
care as well.
Rob.
Bye bye. Bye bye. And they're out of here. Always pleasant. Always pleasant.
That festival sounds like the average Saturday afternoon in Australia.
Oh, does it? Do you know? I honestly,
Barbie, beers.
my daughter has lived in Australia for about 2.5 years. She's she does charity. She works for a charity over there with her husband, and they've literally just about 4 days ago had to vacate Australia because her visa was running out, and so they were going to the States. But they had a hell of a trouble to get a visa for the States for her. But they got it just in time.
May I ask where? Roughly.
Newcastle.
Ah, right.
So that sort of area. I've not been. We were going to, or planning to, or hoping to go, but we never got around to it. But yeah, I would love to go to Oz. I really would. I'd love to see the outback. I love a desert. I've been to Arizona and absolutely found that stunning. So I love that stunning desolation. You know.
It's funny here because you have the East Coast. I mean, there's Perth and that area, but the East Coast is all the mountain ranges. There's rainforest, mountains.
Yeah.
But as soon as you go that couple hundred kilometers west from the East Coast, it is just nothing.
Yeah, but
thousands of kilometers.
I just find it beautiful. You know, I really do, and I'd love to see the wildlife. Of course, I mean, who wouldn't want to see koalas and kangaroos and joeys? Sorry. Oh yeah, drop bears. I would get training to make sure I was safe from drop bears, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not stupid. I bone up on these things to make sure I'm prepared. So if anyone else is going to Oz, you do need to be careful of drop bears.
Drop bears?
And try some kangaroo steaks as well. And emu prosciutto. Pretty good.
Who was that? There was a flat earther, right? I can't remember the name. There was a flat earther who believes that koalas and these things are not real, and they don't exist.
Yeah, but there was that idiot who thinks toucan. What's his name? I did a video on him.
Hans Wormhat.
Yeah, but Hans had done it, but there was, I've forgotten the guy's name. I did a video about him anyway, and he thinks that toucans' beaks aren't real. they're prosthetic. Oh my goodness.
A platypus is a beaver with additives.
Yeah, with duck parts.
Duck parts.
Someone hot glued them together.
Actually, perhaps you can tell us. Someone's asked, if I drop a gummy bear, is that a drop bear? Asked David Oliver.
Hasn't got the teeth.
No.
It's more past tense, dropped it.
Are they very common? Are drop bears very common, or only in certain areas?
Why would you be wasting edibles by dropping them?
Edibles.
Well, you can have snakes alive, but in Australia that brings on a whole new meaning.
This time last year, I was halfway to Australia. I was probably just stopping off in Singapore just at this moment.
Bunny Killer would like you to describe what is a drop bear. Can you explain drop bears to them?
A drop bear is what we tell tourists about koala bears because they fall out of trees and grab you on the head and tear you to bits. So you've got to wear a helmet.
Like a bunyip, most of us had never seen
body armor.
Body armor, yeah. There was a video on YouTube of someone. Yeah, there was a video on YouTube of someone dealing with that, wasn't there? With drop bears.
There was actually one not long ago where they told a reporter from another country about drop bears, and she put a helmet and armor.
Gauntlets.
And they made her do the whole thing, and she was worried.
Yes, she was wetting herself, wasn't she? Bless her.
Koalas are not as cute as they seem. They are actually, when you go to a wildlife park, they're trained, and they will just hug you and whatever, but they will pee on you.
Oh, no. Sorry.
But they will scratch the hell out of you in the wild. They're not.
But then wild animals generally would. I mean, they're wild.
Yeah. And their growl, it's terrible too. It's the most horrendous, soul-searing sound you'll ever hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or Tasmanian devils.
Sorry, Tasmanian devils, did you say?
Yeah,
the wickedest scream you ever heard.
Well, it's all that fast spinning around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
They're actually not doing very well. They have a disease that causes tumours on their face.
Devils.
Tasmanian devils, yeah. And it's causing them a lot of population loss.
And of course, Australia and the very unique wildlife they have there is such a brilliant argument about the whole biblical thing with Noah's Ark and so on.
Yes. Oh, they hopped and jumped and No, just ask Hans Wormhat. They're all fake.
Yes. I haven't looked at Hans Wormhat for a while. The last video I did about Hans Wormhat was his mountains are fountains belief.
God. But you've got to.
Don't worry. Australia with evolution. Right soon. Sorry.
Australia and evolution is a big thing.
Yeah.
We are so away from everything else that things have evolved massively different to many other countries.
Yes, I genuinely would love to go there. I could have been an Aussie, you know, when my mum and dad first got married back at that time.
Don't threaten us.
No. Oh. That was before I realised that it's actually our largest open air prison. No, but my mum was a nurse. Mum was a nurse, and going back many years, there was big call for. I'm not sure if they were operating a point system or whatever, but they were, allowing lots of immigrants going back. I guess it was in the '60s, and my mum and dad were going to go there, but. To be honest, the story I heard is my dad couldn't be asked with the paperwork, so it never happened. Had it happened, I'd have been an Aussie.
Like the skill set immigration sort of thing?
Yes, yeah. Because my dad was an immigrant. That sort of thing, yeah. My dad was an immigrant after the war, because he was Hungarian, and after the war he emigrated, came to England. I've actually somewhere got the paperwork. They did a big shout because they wanted lots of people to, because obviously, there was massive destruction in this country too, and they were looking for a lot of people to come. And at that time, he was paid an amount of money, as were lots of people, thousands of people, to come and to come to the UK to live and to have a chance to naturalise, which he did, and then made his life here.
What did he do?
I'm not sure what he did. Oh, he was an electrician. He was an electrician back then. Yes.
I'm gonna say tradesman.
Yeah, and there was a big call for that.
Required,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Australia has chicken salt. I've heard of that. I don't know what it is. Is it literally just spices to put on chicken, or is it salt made from chickens?
It's
flavored salt that has chicken flavouring to it.
Yeah, it's MSG.
Oh, monosodium glutamate. Yeah, I remember when I was younger. It's got monosodium glutamate in it. Oh, it's terrible. It's just another salt that does enhance flavours. Sorry?
Can I mention a channel?
Of course you can.
Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger. I was thinking the same thing.
What's Uncle Roger?
Yeah. Oh, no. Mr. S, you're letting me down, mate. You don't know Married with Children, and you don't know Uncle Roger.
No, never heard. Who's Roger? Release Roger! Release Roger!
I'll send you a link. You'll have a laugh. I know you have a good sense of humour. You will have a good laugh. He is an Englishman who came from Malaysia, Indonesia, but he plays like a Chinese, or I don't know. He plays an Asian accent, but he's an English comedian.
Okay.
And he is brilliant.
So, I'm not and that's one difference between Aussies and us, and I'm definitely not criticising. With regard to political correctness, that's much less of a thing there, isn't it? It's when I see some Aussie stuff, it seems perhaps, I don't know, 30 years in the past here, things that were acceptable then.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not knocking it. It's a different place, different rules, different mores. You know.
We're catching up, but the older school Australians, they're not racist, so to speak, so much, but they don't know how to be politically correct when they speak.
Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely not criticising. It's a different place. I remember when I was a kid, and I'm not going to repeat what he said, but a friend of ours who we called an uncle, he wasn't being racist. There was no nastiness there, but he just made some comment about black people. And the term he used, even then, I was a little shocked. Now, if he said it, he'd probably be arrested. But there was no malice. It was wrong. I'm not saying it was not wrong. It was definitely wrong. But times change, and I'm sure that if I mentioned that to him now, because he probably didn't even think about it, if I mentioned that to him now, he'd feel terrible that he said things like he said. It's a different world.
Yeah, the wording is slightly behind.
Yeah,
I get that wording issue with my Hungarian relatives a lot.
Yes.
They aren't being racist, so to speak, most of the time. Sometimes they are. That's when I call them out on it.
They kind of are, they kind of not.
Yeah, no, they are certain persons in my relative in my family who are a little racist, sometimes a lot,
there is
and
one
I call
thing.
them out on that. But others are just not used to the PC way of speaking.
Yes, no, I agree absolutely.
Oh yeah, my family is just like that. They are not racist. They just don't know how to use the right words.
Yeah. But I remember when I was a kid, because I used to go to Hungary right from when I was a kid, and the Iron Curtain was still there. So there was basically no mixing East with West, really. And I remember a little later on when Hungary started opening up more, I was there one time with my aunt, who was a very elderly aunt. She was quite sprightly, into her 70s and 80s, I think. But back then she was in her 70s. And we were walking through town, and she sort of grabbed me, pointed, because there was a black man, and she was sort of giggling. No, she was giggling. She wasn't being nasty. It was just something it just didn't happen there. It was something they didn't know how to handle. Sorry.
Yeah. Same with my family. Like my mother came to Germany after the Iron Curtain fell, and she worked in Germany as a nurse, and that was the first time she saw a black person, is what she told me. Because there were literally some Asians were in Hungary at the time, just a very few, and most of them in Budapest.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all the racial diversity you would get in Hungary.
Yes.
And nowadays in Budapest, you have some other...
ethnicities.
How can I say
ethnicities?
Other ethnicities, exactly. But outside of the big cities, which basically only Budapest, Győr.
Yeah, well, my family's my family's from Győr.
So I think in Australia, our cities aren't they're not so compact. So London has how many people in it? Over 20 million or something.
10.
In a city, there's only 25 million or whatever. I don't know what it is now, but
what, in all of Australia?
In the entire country of Australia.
Wow.
There's only 25 million or something. Most of them are on the East Coast, but we don't have that real.
I just looked it up. 8.9 million in London.
Yeah. I mean, Hungarian population is somewhere in the region of 10, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 10. In Austria, where I'm at, we're about between 8 to 9. So London has more residents than the whole country of Austria has.
It's so hard to believe.
Yeah.
I'll share a video on your stream, Mr. S, on the Discord. It's the size comparison of countries, and I think Australia is like the 7th biggest for land mass, like the area, with one of the smallest populations.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, most of the country, like you said, is outback desert.
Sure.
There's nothing.
You have deserts.
Well, we're mostly.
I mean, here, I live in a small-ish village, I think about 200 houses, but it's less than 2 miles to a village that way, and less than 2 miles to a village that way, and you just don't tend to get sort of bigger spaces than. I mean, there are a few, like with somewhere like a national park, but even somewhere like, say, the New Forest, there are houses in little villages or hamlets within the park. You can't drive for long distances without going through towns and villages in the UK.
No, the thing with Australia, you can drive. I mean, the East Coast is the East Coast. It's fairly condensed.
Yeah.
But if you drive from Melbourne or Sydney to Perth, it's 5,000 odd kilometres or 4.5. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'll drop a map of the world where the country sizes are based on how much people live there.
Yes, that would look funny. Yes. Yeah,
a flat one.
So you could just imagine Mad Max then. All that space.
Really interesting.
And the thing is, you saying about, from Sydney to Perth, I think you said is 5,000 kilometres. You think, wow, that's a long way, but that's along a road. What you got to remember that it's a 2D space. You could go north and south. You know what I mean? It's not just that distance. It's an area. I mean, it's just gobsmacking how big it is.
You can't actually go north and south much. There's only the one road.
I'm talking about the area.
You end up in.
The area of the land.
Yes. Yeah. If that road. There's basically one road.
Yeah.
The Gun Barrel Highway.
Is that where all the what's names? Forgot what they call them. The trains, the lorry trains. What are they called?
Road trains.
Yes. Is that where they'll be driving along?
Yes. No.
Wow,
yes.
That was good.
but a lot of the road trains are from Perth to Broome, up the west coast. They're your biggest road trains. There might be a road train carrying ore, and it will be 7 or 8 trailers long.
I know, it's stunning,
weighing
isn't it?
hundreds of tons.
You're not going to want to turn around, really, are you? Although, having said that, you've got the space to turn around.
No, well, try and reverse that.
Yeah. Oh, just gobsmackings. I'd love to have a driver. I was an Arctic driver, what we call here Class 1 driver, bendies, where you get a tractor unit and a trailer rather than a rigid lorry.
Yeah.
And that was a brilliant experience. And at the time, I dreamt of having a go driving a road train. It's just unreal.
I mean, if you actually Google it, it's quite interesting. Some of these things are the mining companies in Western Australia own some of these road trains, and they are just stupid. It's like a train on the road. It literally.
Yeah, they're quite. If anyone hasn't seen them, you should have a look at YouTube or Google some images of road trains. They are stunning things. Amazing. They actually played with the idea of doing some here. I guess nowhere near that length, but with a view to just doing sort of point-to-point stuff from one major city to another along the motorway. But they never got anywhere with that.
At that point, you could just build a train track.
The truck manufacturers actually make special prime movers just for Australia, basically, to pull these things.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Right, listen, I just looked at the clock. It's 11:15, so we'll be going for 2.25 hours. I think, guys, I'm going to draw this to an end. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. My problem is I've got work tomorrow. It's not such an early start, which is why I was able to do this tonight, but I've still got to go to work tomorrow. And Mrs. S
Mr. S, you have to promise me one thing.
Oh, what's that then, General?
You're going to...
Sorry, you cut out. You said you're going to, and it went silent.
You're going to watch Married with Children.
Yeah, I'll try and give that a go.
What did he say he was going to watch? Star Trek?
I'm jotting it down.
Star Trek?
Married with Children.
Oh, Star Wars. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
Right, what I've done.
Bloody hell.
What I've done is I've jotted it down on my whiteboard. Okay, so I can't promise when, but it's on my whiteboard. I can promise I will have a watch. Okay. It'd be interesting to see if the sense of humour travels across.
Don't make me unsub.
Empire Strikes Back is good, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's the best of the bunch.
Oh, dear.
Yes, actually it was.
Right. So, I don't know if anyone wants to say, shout out.
You have a lovely night.
Yeah, I certainly have had. Thank you. And it's been great. So many people joining and moving on. It's been great. Some good side chat. I do try and keep... I don't know if people notice I'm tending to watch down there rather than at the camera because I'm watching the chat. And it's always nice. Enjoy that. So, still with us right now, we've got Dasaran LP, General E. Shady, Glass Monster, Harry the Bastard, and Rodrigo. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
For having us on.
Welcome.
Right, so what I'll do is I'll chuck you all into the live waiting room, and I'll join you in a moment when the stream's finished, just to say a few words and say goodbye, really. But I'll chuck you over. So thank you very much. I'll pass you over. It's Dasaran LP. Thank you. Good night. General E. Shady. Good night to you.
Good night, guys.
Glass Monster. Good night. Good night to you, my friend.
No problem.
Harry the Bastard, if you're still there, because I see you're muted. He probably can't hear me either. But Harry, thank you very much. That's Harry of Just Shoot Me, one of the sponsors of Mage. Thank you, Harry. And Rodrigo, a new guest, and hopefully becoming a new friend on the channel. Thanks for popping in, Rodrigo. Okay, you take care.
Thank you.
So, another great night. Covered just about everything from depression through to Australian road trains and drop bears. So, yeah, if anyone's watching and is going to Australia, please make sure you take care of drop bears and wear appropriate safety equipment. I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me. Take care and stay sensible. If I can find the button. Bye-bye.